Toni, this is your call. And what I want you to do is start the call before you pass it to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, Toni Kaufman.
Hi, thank you, Nolan. Thanks everyone for showing up. I really appreciate it, and it means a whole lot. So Nolan and I started discussing this it was right before we went to Sacramento. No, to Dallas, right? To
Dallas.
the
Yep.
Dallas event. I've been to too many places in 1 month. Anyway, I know Nolan so well, and I guess you all feel the same way about me. Is if he says something's good, it's good. And I'm always looking, and I have so many friends, especially at my age, that are looking for some answers to other than pills, shots, supplements, and all that kind of stuff. And so I always have my mind open when we're talking about something to do with wellness and health and how it improves people's lives. I am 70 years old, and I told my kids I was middle aged. So Dee, it's up to you and Miriam and Dahlia here to make sure that I hit that middle age mark. Okay. So for those who know very little about me, I went from being a Microsoft technical evangelist to learning and teaching a lot of people how to use computers way back when they first got started. I used to make a joke that I was a geek before we got really cute. It's amazing how cute Bill Gates got when he's making $1 million a day. But so from there, I went back to my world of production. I did a lot of television production. I've done a lot of casting, and I've cast some big shows, and I've produced some big shows like the Latin Grammys, American Idol, America's Top Model, A Family Feud. And then I also worked with Fremantle Media Latin America, which had all of the exact same shows but in Spanish. And so we did Objetivo Fama, Objective Fame is American Idol. America's Top Model was Belleza Latina, and Family Feud was Que dice la gente, or what people say. And so I've worked on a lot of shows. I've also produced Latin Grammys and the Texas Music Awards, just to name a few. There's a whole bunch that I won't mention because I really love helping student filmmakers. And so a lot of my services are pro bono when it comes to helping kids make movies that are in college, like in UT and Texas A&M and other universities. So I'm smiling at Dee because I have never seen anyone move up the ranks as fast as she has done on TikTok.
Right.
This girl had she calls me. She says, I don't know how it happened, but in one night I got 42,000 views. I'm like, gosh, that's because you're so cute. So I want you to know that you're in line here with a real influencer. Oh, there's Henry. Excellent. Hello, Henry. So anyway, so went from production and casting to being very serious and a computer trainer. I was appointed to head the transition team for former President H.W. Bush, the daddy, and I became his personal computer trainer. And I was in charge of all the cybersecurity. Had the daily diaries in my hands for about 3 months, so you can imagine my security clearance. And that was kind of the fun part. So I really have been blessed with being able to be very serious and understand what all's going on behind the scenes on computers and helping get people there, to having a lot of fun and doing casting and events like that. So I've been doing event production. I am a fractional COO for companies that can't afford a full-time one. I do a lot of strategy and planning and events. And so I tie all that in with my VA team and folks like Dee who are extremely creative. As a matter of fact, next in October, Dee and I are hosting the Social Media Mastery Cruise. So for those of you who are anxious to get really big on social media, I have to invite you to the Social Media Mastery Cruise.
That's my friend.
That's your friend Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hey, Alice.
So anyway, with that in mind, I just wanted to thank Nolan very much for what he's doing for me, and I love the product. I'm enjoying what's going on, and I wanted to share it with everybody because as a customer, I'm sold. But more important than that, I'm also looking at the business opportunity of something like this. And it's already in so many countries that every time I speak to people in other countries, they're like, is it here? And I'm like, yeah. And I speak to an average 3 to 4 countries outside of the United States, people per day. So I'm really happy that we can grow it that way as well. So my entire VA team, for example, is in Morelia, Guadalajara, Mexico, and Pakistan. So we have a follow the sun support system that can help people. And so I'm excited to see that it's everywhere. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Nolan, and let's get everybody involved in what is happening here.
All right. So we are going to talk about what's happening right now. And I have a background in network marketing. And I've been very successful to where I was a diamond at my last place. And really, I was the first time I really took network marketing serious. And it was a great product, but it was nothing like this. I want to introduce to you guys something that's called test-based nutrition, right? And it's almost like as science and technology evolves, we're now having test-based nutrition, which is like the AI of supplements, right? So we're always talking about, what's the newest, hottest thing. And I feel as if this is going to be um we're going to be the standard as we move forward and become the leaders in test based nutrition. Now, what does that mean? That means that we can test the supplements to make sure that it works in your body. So many times people will say, hey, we got this supplement. You should take this. You should take that. If you want to be younger, you should take this. If you want to create collagen, you should take that. But we never know if it works. And when I saw that this was test based, results driven supplements, I want you all natural. I want you to think about that for a moment to where people are buying supplements because we live in a society where we know that our food that we grow is not nutrient dense. We know we're not getting all the vitamins, all the minerals. And what I'm going to show you today is literally why. And I'm going to tell you what product it is. The product itself is omega 3s. Now, everybody hears of omega 6s and omega 3s, but nobody really knows the importance of it. And so, the people that are watching right now, if you see the opportunity, because we're going to lead and we are the leaders in 48 countries, I want you to think about that. Majority of the time, when you hear something new, they start here in the United States. And when they start here in the United States, they're what? A startup, right? This is not a startup. This company is out of Europe. It's a 20-year company. And if I want to tell you the most exciting thing is that their stocks, that's right, their stocks. I've not seen a network marketing company that has stock, right? But their stock has risen 500% in the last 15 months, meaning that we're a growing company. So when you look at it, a lot of times a brand new product means a startup company. They don't have the procedures in place. They don't have the systems in place. They don't have the monetary backing in place. We're a publicly held company that has been growing bananas over the last 15 months. So I want you to understand that. And it's truly because of test-based nutrition. Now, I'm going to bring John Cini in, but before I bring John Cini in, and he's going to show you some slides, and he and I, we're going to be talking back and forth, but I want you to understand this. This is omega 6s in your body. It's essential, and your body doesn't make it. This is omega 3s in your body. Now, for you to get the optimal type of health, they need to be one for one. You could be 1 for 1, 2 for 1, or 3 to 1. When the omega 6s hit 4 to 1 to omega 3s, it causes inflammation. Now, why is that important? Because everything in your body that goes wrong starts with inflammation. And this is inflammation on the cellular level. I want you to think about that. When your cells reproduce and they're damaged cells, they're reproducing damaged cells. So as we age, those cells are getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Now, what does inflammation do on the cellular level? When we look at the cell itself, the membrane itself, when there's inflammation, it's a hard, sticky substance around the cell, which makes it hard for the cell to breathe. That's how I like to talk about it. So it's hard to inhale all the nutrients and the minerals. And more importantly, it's hard to exhale all the toxins and the waste products. Now, when I said 4 to 1, most Americans are 25 to 1. They're like this. So the omega 6s comes from seed oils, comes from meat products, comes from a lot of the things that we eat. So it's so high. But the omega 3s, we lose a lot of the omega 3s. People are like, just eat fish. That sounds good. But when you eat fish, the process of how they take the mercury out of fish removes a lot of the potency from the omega 3s. And so, John Senior, I want you to come on here, and I just wanted you to understand it so you can understand it, and then we're going to show you where the test comes in, because we're going to show you how you're out of balance, and then taking this product for 4 months, and then taking another lab test to get results, and then you're in balance. So take it away, John.
Hey, thank you so much, Nolen, and I really appreciate all of you jumping on here with us tonight. We got some fantastic info. Nolen just gave you a great summary of what is going on here. I've been in the nutrition business for about 2.5 decades, and I've never seen anything like this. It's incredible. I feel so blessed to have stumbled onto this. I just found out about it at the beginning of the year. So, we're not even 6 months into this. And it is the future of personalized health, for sure. So we're going to tell you a little bit more. We're going to elaborate a little bit on what Nolen just touched on. We saw this quote a long time ago. If you're going to invest your money, your time, or your energy, you need a system for evaluating it, not just hope and emotions, of course. And so these are some of the questions that we like to ask. Does it solve a real problem? Is the timing right? Is the company solid? And most importantly, can I win here? And the great thing is there are already a lot of people winning here. And you can look at the biggest business opportunities out there, the innovations that we've all come to know and watch and admire and probably use in our lives. But these companies solve problems that no one else solves, or that they didn't think to solve, or they didn't even think it was a problem. Everyone's familiar with Amazon. Amazon has become the world's marketplace, the biggest retailer out there, all online. Everyone knows how Uber replaced taxis. Airbnb replaced a lot of hotels. Netflix replaced Blockbuster, and then many TV channels today, right, as we watch streaming instead of the regular TV. So Zinzino is looking to join that list of solving huge problems. And we're going to talk about that problem. And you may be familiar with that Time magazine cover from 21 years ago, 2004. Seems like yesterday when that came out. And they called inflammation the secret killer, because there is a link, and it says right there, a link between inflammation and heart attack, cancer, Alzheimer's, and many other diseases. Pretty much all chronic illnesses are tied to inflammation,
Right.
which is kind of scary. And when you look at, the massive amount of press that is flying every week, there's a story on inflammation and your omega ratio. And that's what we're talking about. This is the key one right here. This was a national story. It ran everywhere. How an imbalance of two healthy fats, omega-6 and omega-3, like Nolen just went through, affects your early death risk. Study finds. This was out of the University of Georgia Longevity Center just a year ago, April. and they literally analyzed the blood of 85,000 people. This was not a small study. This is a big one. And they saw that people were dying early when that ratio was out of balance. And here is neuroscience off of news.com. A low omega-3 index, what Nolen was just talking about, is just as strong a predictor of early death as smoking. And we all know how bad smoking is today. That's not news to anybody. But how many people, if you said, hey, by the way, omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is as big an indicator of whether or not you're going to die early as smoking, most people would say, what? This is brand new information, but it's all over the place. So this has been out there for a couple decades. And now we have the solution. And that's what we are. We're a solutions-based company solving a massive problem that's been in existence for a few decades now. I mean, we see the rate of cardiovascular disease. We see the rate of cancer, all these things skyrocketing. I saw a talk earlier today by the professor, the doctor who's an expert in pharmaconutrition, which is really just making sure that your food is your medicine. And he said that the incidence of colon cancer from people born in 1945 to people born in 1985, which includes some of us on this call, that 40-year span, the rate of colon cancer quadrupled. What are we doing? You know, that's bad news. How many people take supplements and believe they're working? Everybody. And how many people know for sure? Nobody.
Right.
That's the revolution right there. It's kind of amazing. And this is what Nolen just touched on. Your omega-6, necessary. We can't get it by internally from our body producing it. We have to get it from the outside, but we get too much of it. It's largely pro-inflammatory. So we are stoking inflammation, but we need it to clot our blood or, you know, stop bleeding, that kind of thing. But when we eat the burgers and the fries and the seed oils and all the junk food, all the processed food, we're getting an absolute shower, a bath of omega-6. We only need a little bit of it. And then on the flip side with omega-3, same thing. It's essential. We can't produce it, so we've got to take it in from external sources, and it's largely inflammatory. And we need these things, as Nolen said, to be even. 1-to-1 is ideal, but we are way out of whack. How out of whack are we? Well, like I said, 1-to-1 would be perfect. 3-to-1 is what we call the safe zone. But that's where we are right now around the world. We're 25-to-1 and getting worse. You know, way back when in the old days, we would be around that area. But as we've gotten more and more yummy food and undisciplined and, you know, getting used to eating all of that bad food, our score has gone crazy. Who was it that told me today? Somebody tested and got a 79-to-1.
Oh,
I think it was Will. 79-to-1. It wasn't Will. It was one of his offspring.
You should have went to the hospital. Like, well, let's get this guy in the ER, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, really. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah. And I think it was his daughter-in-law and his son, her spouse, got a 17-to-1. Imagine that household right now. I mean, like,
right.
So that would be a tough conversation. You know, this is getting in a deep dive into the science. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I do want to just elaborate a little bit on what Nolen said. When we look at a healthy cell, it's very flexible, and the membrane that Nolen talked about hardening, it's permeable, meaning nutrients can get in and the waste products can get out. That's how a healthy cell works, is that flow is freely happening all day, every day. And we have 37 trillion of these cells that make up our body. Everybody's got 37 trillion. But what happens when you are getting a ton of omega-6, that hardens that cell membrane, hardening of the arteries. That's cardiovascular disease. When we have cells that are mutating and they're metastasizing, that's cancer. And all of these things are building up, and it happens over years and years and years. That's why Time Magazine called it the secret killer, because you don't even know that it's going on in your body. And I got to tell you, I'm going to show you my score here in a minute, and I'm in the club where I was like, uh-oh. So this goes back to what Nolen said, test-based nutrition, where we test instead of guess. And that's moving instead of from hope or believing that something is working to knowing that it's working. Our body actually tells us that it is working. And we're going to show you how you can get that test and find out immediately. And then you can do something about it if your score is not good. And I'll share a little secret with you. 99% of people are out of balance. So sorry, bad news is coming. Everyone know what that little check light is right there?
Yes.
I don't need to tell anybody, right? The check engine light. Everybody knows what that is, and you hate to see it. But what do you know if you don't check, right? Something bad is going to happen. And our omega ratio test is your body's internal check engine light. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I mean, it's the best analogy out there. And when that check engine light turns on, because you got an out of whack ratio of your omega-6 to omega-3, you better do something about it. So that's step one in the problem, is finding out if you have a problem. Now, this guy right here, Stuart Tomk, is actually working with us. He is one of the people who brought in the people that brought me in. And I could not believe that Stuart was plugged in here with us. He was the brand ambassador, the global spokesperson for Nordic Naturals, the world's largest omega-3 supplement company. And he plugged in here with us. And he got tested, and his score was not good. What does that tell you? So it's a really tough pill to swallow, good analogy, when you figure out that your omega-3 supplement is not working, and then maybe I should do something different to get my test where it needs to be. Now, look, this was a press release from New Zealand back in 2012. And the headline of it is American health expert urges omega-3 testing to save the New Zealand health system millions of dollars. And that was back 13 years ago. So he's been advocating test, don't guess all those years. Pretty amazing. And now he's plugged in here because he knows that you're going to get your score in place. We've had the test. This test that we have right here, our Zinzino test, if I can get that to show up, that is not unique to us. What is unique is our ability to improve your score. That's the ticket right there. So step number one in the solution is getting tested, right? Find out if you have a problem. Is that check engine light on? That's our test I just showed you. And here's our bottle of omega-3. And that is the difference maker right there. How much does that cost? $115. What do you get for 115 bucks? You get the test, and they even give you a postage paid envelope so you can send in your test. It takes a minute or two. I actually have a video on my Facebook page, and you can, watch me go. Boop. There's a spring-loaded, cute little pin, and it doesn't even hurt. And you can get a little bit of blood. You put it on a card. It's very easy. You send that in. It's totally anonymized. The only way you get your score is if you put in the test code that you get in that kit. That's it. You better keep your test code. Otherwise, there's no way to get your score back. So make sure you heard that, because we've had people get rid of their code, and then they can't get their test, and then that means they wasted their money for the test. So you get the test. With that test, $115, you also get a free bottle. That's a free month supply of omega-3 to get your 3 and 6 in balance. So you send that test in, you start on our bottle right away. Because like I said, 99+% of people are going to be out of balance. I've had over 200 people tested in the last 4 months, 4.5, 5 months. And I've had 2 get in the safe zone on their first test. Everybody else is way out of whack. including me. So you get that bottle, and check this out. You get another test after you've been through our product for 4 months. So you get a free month, and then you buy 3 more months for $45 a month, and then you get a free retest. Does that sound like a good deal? I hope it does. I actually took a competitor's test right after I took our test, and it cost me $90. It's on Amazon. Anybody can go and get it. You can get it from LabCorp or from Quest Diagnostics, Cleveland Clinic. Everybody's got a test. But then if you take their test, they say, go drink cod liver oil and eat sardines. And who's going to do that? Hardly anybody, right? And so I think I know maybe 2 people that will eat sardines. And the rest of us were like, nope, no, thank you. And so when you get your test from another company and then you eat sardines and cod liver oil, then you get retested. You got to pay for the retest. And
Right.
so that's going to cost you a ton more money than what you're spending right here. Oh, and by the way, we have a 100% money back guarantee on what? The 100% money back guarantee is if you get in the safe zone on your initial test, they're going to give you your $115 back. How great is that?
Right.
Hopefully that excites you as much as it excited me. So you take the blood test in your home. It's very easy to do. You don't have to drive somewhere. You don't have to talk to a medical professional or go get blood drawn professionally. Then you send your test in. It actually is sent to Vitas Lab. That's the world's largest dried blood spot analysis company on the planet. They work with Bristol Myers Squibb, Abbott Labs, BASF, GE Healthcare. They work with Cambridge University, Max Planck Institute, all these prestigious organizations, healthcare organizations around the globe. And then you get on your supplement after you put that thing in the mail. And then it says 10 to 15 days. I'm going to tell you 3 weeks. If it comes in sooner than that, great. But I like to make sure that you have realistic expectations when you'll get your test. Continue taking your supplements for 4 months and then retest. That's the whole process. Imagine everybody on here. Imagine if you could offer a test to every person you know before they knew they needed that test. That's where we are right now.
Right.
Pretty amazing. That's the check engine light that everybody needs. So our mission here is to inspire change in life by helping people improve their health and their financial well-being. And we're doing it all over the globe. I have one other stat that I want to share with you. And the key is with our balance oil is that it's not fish oil by itself. It's actually wrapped in olive oil that is timed to get the maximum absorption in your body. And Nolen had touched on that too. We have a patent. You can go read the patent,
Right.
and the patent is going to tell you exactly what this product will do. I mean, look at all the stuff that's in that patent. Now, I can't say all that stuff, but you can read it yourself right in the patent. Pretty amazing right there. And then check this out. When people get on our supplement, our liquid, 95% of those taking our product daily have an omega-6-3 ratio in or near the safe zone of 3-to-1 after 4 months. There's your solution right there. 95%, that's incredible. And this is the process right here. So this was one of the people that is a leader in our company. She tested at 35-to-1. That was her first score. 4 months later, 4 bottles later, she tested in the safe zone at 2.7-to-1, just under 3-to-1. Pretty amazing. So that's the process. Now I get to show you my number, which was pretty awful. 23-to-1. And I've been in the industry, in the nutrition business for 2.5 decades. I was taking an omega-3 supplement and I was eating fish every day. But you know what? I was eating the wrong fish. I was eating tuna. And Nolen referenced this too. When they remove the mercury and the heavy metals from the tuna, they strip out all the polyphenols that get the omega-3 absorbed in your body. So I wasn't getting any benefit. I thought I was. I had no idea. I tested. Now I know. 23-to-1. Yuck. Right? Now check this out. 4 months later, boom. Of course, I was on the product, and there I go, 1.9 to 1. Now I'm balanced. Now I'm in the safe zone. That's where you want to be. By the way, this is actually personal to me. Invoke a little emotional stuff here. My mother actually died of cancer when I was 5. And, we all, I'm sure, know someone, probably someone close to you, where we've lost them at an earlier age because of some of these chronic illnesses that we talked about. In the last 18 months, I went to 9 funerals. I'm at that age. My dad passed away. My father-in-law passed away, and many other people that I know and care about. And in that process, I watched my dad, and I also watched his dad years ago, not know anybody who they were in the last 2 years of their life. That decay, that dementia is another illness, Alzheimer's, that comes from an out of balance omega ratio. That's how important that is. All right, so we have a lot of products. I'm not going to talk about all those things, but I definitely wanted to share that with you. And yes, the timing is right. By the way, our company's only tested 1.4 million people around the globe. Nolen, back to you.
All right. And as we talk about that testing, I'm going to do a couple of things. One, in America, we've only tested 50,000 people. I want you to understand that, right? Now, I know Toni's background, and I know some of the people that she knows, and I know she's bilingual. If you speak another language and you're looking to break into something that's brand new, if this is the first time you've heard it, anyone you introduce this to, this is going to be the first time that they heard it, right? And so if you want to be a pioneer along with us as we do what we're doing right now to get to the next level of nutrition, to show people the results, to explain and educate people, to let them know that omega-3s helps every function in your body. And if you want to do it on another level, in my chat, he talked about Stuart Tomk. I put Bio Bootcamp Live on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look at Bio Bootcamp Live. Our team, you'll see me. And I'm dressed just as nice as I am today on the deal, right? But if you go to Bio Bootcamp Live on YouTube, every day we are educating people with an episode, a podcast. You can go to biobootcamplive.com. Our team is putting out great information. It's all about educating. Everyone wants to live longer, look better, and perform better. So once you realize that you need our supplement to make all the other supplements work, how do you know you're getting the maximum benefit if your cell is not in order? So everybody that's looking at this right now, I feel as if it's usually, we got some other people join. I'm just saying, welcome. I just saw the numbers go up, and we will get you this recording. This is being recorded, but this call is for Toni Kaufman, right? She's launching this business. She sees the opportunity. Now, from a compensation standpoint, I'm just going to talk about it briefly, and everyone who has questions will get their questions answered. This is just really a virtual launch for Toni Kaufman, and as everybody has their cameras on, I want everybody just to give a quiet digital clap for Toni Kaufman for seeing what's going on right now and for changing lives, for taking the step to change people's lives. So many times I've been in a business and we're talking about, hey, I really want to change lives. This is our mission statement. What if we could document it? Like when can you say I've had on my team, I've had 100,000 people tested. They tested here at first, and then when they got off on my product after 4 months, they tested here and they're much better, and that's been documented, right? What we're doing is revolutionary, and those are the people that get paid the most, right? This is everything is upfront. and right there in your face. So most people that have seen this presentation understand it. They fall within three places: A, B, or C. A is like, A, you had me at test-based nutrition. I feel like that's the future. I definitely want in. Talk to me more about that. If you're on this call, text Toni Kaufman and A, because you had to get it from her some way, somehow. I didn't give it out, right? So I don't know who any of these people are. You guys are sexy, though. You guys are a good-looking group, right? But I'm just telling, I didn't give it out, right? So A is, I think I'm ready to get started. Text Toni Kaufman A. B is, I like it, but I got questions. If you got questions, we got answers. We could do some one-on-ones. I can answer your questions. We could talk about doing a virtual launch for you after we get those questions answered. If you want to think about it, if you got other people you want to talk to, we're open to doing all of that. But most importantly, if you really understand what I said on a cellular level to remove inflammation, you need our product, and it's a patented product. Everything is all natural. It's literally omega-3s, polyphenols, and vitamin D in this bottle. It's really the Mediterranean diet in a bottle. And the Mediterranean diet is where the blue zones are. And these people are living over 100 and they're shoveling in their gardens. And that's really, I'm 98 years old. I look very good for my age. I know I just got on the oil. Of course, I'm lying. But C is, I just want to be a customer, right? If you want to be a customer and you see that it's affordable, we all are taking supplements. This is the first supplement that you will ever take that we can prove that it works in your body. So what I want to do is I want to open it up for anybody who has any questions, anybody who wants to make any comments, and then we're going to pass it back over to Toni. So does anybody want to say anything? I see Dee is raising her hand. Come on, Dee, just unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm in the car, but I am so glad that I got on this call. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I was inviting other people to be here. You know, I love Toni. I love you. And now I love this omega-3. This is, okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you what hit me. I can definitely resonate. I lost my mother. She was to pancreatic cancer at the age of 67. So she died young. She always had a lot of energy. She was very vibrant. I still have my dad, but I've been seeing a lot of different things and symptoms in him that now in my mind, I can connect and relate to inflammation. Right. But there's a couple of things that you said, and I won't take that long because I know that there's other people on the call and that they have things they want to say and that they have questions as well. But I've been dealing with things. Like my memory is not as good as it used to be. I have different aches and pains in different joints. I have different things going on, and that I know that I'm way too young to have them going on. And so I have battled with inflammation, but I've never had a real solution. And so while you were talking, I was like, hey, this is my solution, not only for me, but for all of the people that I love. So my dad is 86. He's going to be 87 in December. However, he eats like a 4-year-old. He eats really bad. He doesn't listen. He's really stubborn. And my friend once said, once an adult, twice a child. But if I can get something to him that will help improve his health and prolong his life, that's going to be a blessing to me that's worth more than you can even put a price tag on. The second thing that you said, which was really before that, was that inflammation begins at the cellular level.
Yes. And
the cell is the basic building block of life. And if I can get something at the cellular level to begin to work, you know, it's like when you said not only to get the good stuff in, but to let the bad stuff out.
Right.
I've never ever thought about that before, and I've never heard that. But I remember hearing somebody talk about somebody with asthma, and they say, you think people with asthma are always trying to get air in, but what they can't do is they can't exhale. And so getting things out are just as important as being able to get things in. And the last thing that you said that totally was a mind-blowing moment for me, where I knew that I absolutely want to do this. I have A's all across the board, no B's, no C's. I might have some questions later, but I'm all the way your straight A student today on this call.
Let's go.
And I'm ready to get started. Is that that you said this company is publicly traded and it's been in business for 20 years. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Boom.
Sign me up. Tony, I'm going to call you.
All right. And so I
Wow.
love the fact that
Nolen, she has your tape recorder brain. That was incredible, D. I feel like you've been working with us for 10 years. Dang.
Right. So I want you guys to understand this as Dee talks about what she needs for her father, right? I get that, right? And so when she brought that up, there's so many different levels to this. One, the case studies. We have hundreds of case studies that Stuart and I go over in Bio Boot Camp. So when we talk about memory, when we talk about even soldiers unaliving themselves, when a soldier gets PTSD and their levels are not, or their body is not balanced and their levels is off, they're 62% more likely to unalive themselves. That's one of the things that I learned on the show that we went over. So when I tell you this helps every aspect of your body, from your skin, your eyes, your brain, your liver, we have all of these case studies to show. And this case study came from the Pentagon, right? We have one for aggression at the prisons, that people are testing omega-3s all over the world, and we're bringing it on our show, showing how impactful omega-3s is to every part of your body. Now, I say that also to say it's for everybody at every age, even children, because we have it from the Tutti Frutti. So if you have kids, it's either, I think it's Tutti Frutti is the flavor, so that the kids, because it's just oil. It tastes like lemon and oil, like it's kind of like what you dip your bread in if you put some oregano in it at the table, right? Because it's just olive oil. But it's one of those things that throughout your whole life, even from prenatal, we can show you where omega-3s is being used. So I don't want you to think it's just for Gen X and over. I don't want you to think it's just for a certain class of people. This is for everyone who has cells in their body. If they don't have cells, they don't need it, right? But the thing is that even if they test and they get 100% of their money back. So everyone should at least start with the test. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we go?
About the diabetes.
How does it work with diabetes? I have a cousin that she's going through dialysis. She's been on dialysis for 4 years now, but she's my age. She's 36.
No, let me take this.
We have Vision. Vision, take it away.
Hey, great question. I have a son that's type 1 diabetic. And, when he was 6 years old, I almost lost him. So he's 17 now. Wow. I have my own health challenges, something that Dee said is really near to dear to my heart. And so, my son, I said, Lowell, he was saying I wasn't sleeping well. He was getting all kinds of muscle aches. And he's like a typical teenager. Mac and cheese is a staple. He's a ton of protein, but he's, the snack bars, teenager, right? He's drinking energy drinks and coffee drinks and Dunkins and all that stuff, right? Kid, right? And he's got his pod, so he does all this stuff. He insulin. So what happens is when your cells are so out of balance, okay, you become insulin resistant.
That's true.
So he has to take all like higher levels of insulin. So when you take a lot of insulin, then you crash. Then he has lows, and he's got to take more orange juice sips and more things. And in the middle of the night, he's going to wake up. So I said, Lowell, let's just knock this off. I've already tested. It's working great for me. Do me a favor, take the test. You've already taken all these, creatines. He's 17. He's a soccer star. And so he tested. Here's his card right here. Just want to let you know, I have this card right here. My son's card. So he gets his little test. It's Lowell's, and he was 35 to 1 out of balance.
Wow.
Now, I'm 29 to 1 out of balance when I started February 1st. And now I was 3.8 a couple months later. And so I told him, I said, I lost my roommate at 28 years of age when he was 28. I walked into the living room and he was gone. Type 1 diabetic, who was drinking alcohol, eating pizza, went to sleep, didn't take his insulin. True story. I found him. I said, I don't want this to happen to you. So he's on the balance oil. He's on the vitamin D. He's on the Viva. I told him he can start adding the gut health one. That's a one for your gut because he's had some stomach problems. And he comes in. He goes, Dad. He goes, I was crushing people on the field. He goes, I feel like superhuman. I don't even get tired. I mean, this is a teenager saying this, and this is like this is like 3rd month now. So I'm excited to get him retested if that answers. And again, I have my own. Nolen, do you want me to just touch base?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So D, I'm stage 4 pancreatic liver cancer.
Oh my God.
Okay. Don't feel bad. I'm doing great. All right. I was given 6 weeks to live October 2nd, 23. And John and I were on the phone many, many times. Some days I was crushing life. Some days I was crying just out of the blue. Didn't know what to do. Went super depressed. Now, I'm a seasoned veteran networker. I've been in the top 1% for the last 10 years in every company I've ever touched. So I didn't want to do any kind of network marketing at all. John was talking, different things. Finally, I told him, I said, you know what? I go, I got to find something. I go, I don't know what it is, but something's going to stop my chemo side effects because I was really unwell and I didn't really like where I was going. Depression, all the side effects. I'm just miserable, right? So when I talked to John in January, I said, John, I'm hungry. I got a feeling that God wants me to do something. Let's find a product. And lo and behold, he goes, I just got an email. Let's just check it out. Like 3 a.m, right? So we checked out this product. Now, folks, I'm the most skeptical. I'm in the services industry for 20 years. I've been downplaying health nutrition companies forever, saying it's hocus pocus. You're nuts. Stay with the services. And that's where I was tired. I've been doing this stuff for 28 years. So I just need 2 more minutes, Nolen.
Yeah.
So I started taking the balance oil. I took the test February 3rd. My chemo injection was on the 10th of every month. Typically, I would get my injection around 2 in the afternoon. By 4, my eyes were rolling back in my head, and I was passed out for 12 to 16 hours. Woke up like I was hit with 30 baseball bats, low-grade fever, in the toilet for 17 hours. You name it, I had it, and I did that for 5 days every single month. I did that for 14 months. And so on February 10th, I went in, I slept, right? And John can attest to this. You couldn't even catch me out up past 6 o'clock at night. Just wouldn't happen. So all of a sudden, February 10th comes. I did go to sleep. The next day, I woke up like vigor, no side effects, zero. Zero. I was like, that was different. 1 week on the balance oil. So then throughout the rest of the month, all kinds of challenges were getting better. My feet swelling was going down. My knee swelling was going down. My skin complexion. Where I look now, I looked at least 10 years older just 6 months ago. Seriously. I mean, any picture on social media, you see my name right there. Go to Facebook, you see my picture 6 months ago. I looked a lot older. So on March 10th, I did my chemo injection again. John calls me. He wasn't expecting me to answer. It's like 11 something at night. He's like, what are you doing awake? I'm like, I've been working. He's like, you didn't get tired? How was your injection? I'm like, no side effects. was so well in April, I decided not to take my injections. April, May, June, do not take my injections. Did my PET scan in June. No new growth. No new growth. But he did say, Henry, if it does grow in your liver anymore, there's no place for it to grow, and you will go into liver failure and die. So I decided to take the injection in July, and I actually just had chemo 2 days ago. So I had August too. So
Now, I just want people to realize that's his own testimony.
right.
We're not saying this is for anybody else,
Yep.
but this is what he found in his own testimony. So, Henry, I want to thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely appreciate it. Last thing that I want to add from a business standpoint, so everybody at least should want to be a customer now that you understand what we have. If you're looking for an opportunity, I want to let you know that most network marketing companies, the retention rate is 3 to 6 months. But because we have test-proof nutrition, I want you to think about the mindset. And Tony will tell you, our last product was $140 a month. This product is $45 a month. Now, when you first get on a product, majority of the time you may feel a boost, and then after a couple of months you kind of plateau and it just feels regular now, right? You forgot how you used to feel and you're waking up every day. And at $140 a month with no proof that is working, you're looking around like, I don't know if this stuff is really working for me. I can save that $140, right? This, from a business standpoint, our retention rate is at least 18 months on our product. And what it also does is it builds the brand. Psychologically, when you see what we have that works, you're interested in everything else that we have, because we are the pioneers to test-based nutrition. And when I say that, we're talking about one test that'll balance your body so you can receive optimal benefits from everything else. We have a vitamin D test. We have an AC1 test. And the test that we have coming out in October is a leaky gut test. A lot of people have the problem of leaky gut and digestive problems. So when I tell you we're just getting started, even though we're a 20-year company, but we're just getting started here. So if nobody else has any questions, if you do, now is definitely the time. If you want some one-on-one time with Toni and I or anybody else on the call, we absolutely welcome that. But if not, Toni, if you don't mind closing out the call, thanking people for coming out. And I'm Nolen Davis. That's my time. I'm done.
Thank you, Nolen.
Nolan, is there a link or something that we share, or other than you just want them to text me, or?
Just to text you as of right
Okay.
now. So because this is a very personable situation, because we're doing test-based nutrition to make sure that it works in your body, we
Yeah.
want to position you however you want to be positioned. So
Yeah.
we want to give you all the information and just kind of go from there.
All right. So, guys, just as a quick testimonial, and I know there's nothing quick about it, but in 2015, I took my kids and we went to Japan. On the way back, I didn't know, but there was a warning at the airport that said something about SARS, and nobody knew what the hell SARS was. So I arrived in Japan, and the entire country was wearing masks. It's the first time I had ever been exposed to that, and I'm like, why are they wearing masks? We're only going to be here 7 days. We're going to see Tokyo Disney. And what happened is that I brought back H1N1 with me. And that's COVID's mommy, by the way, for you guys. And so I spent 37 days in ICU with intravenous steroids keeping me alive. It took 10 days for them to even figure out what it was. I was the first H1N1 victim in Texas. There was 7 more, of which they all died. I was the only survivor of the 8 of us that had caught H1N1 in Houston. So I've been on, every time I get sick, and by the way, I lost my right lung, so I have one lung, and so I'm very careful about when I go on cruises, when I go out, I always wear masks on airplanes, that kind of thing. But I need to tell you that since 2015, I've been on steroids every time I have trouble breathing. I had to learn how to walk, talk, breathe again. Uh, and so the doctors have me on the broad spectrum, antibiotic just in case I get anything, which is Levaquin, which is like the biggest antibiotic there is. It's a broad spectrum and steroids. So every time I have trouble breathing, that's usually what they give me is more steroids. And I've been on this, I think this is my first month, Nolan. I haven't
Yes.
needed one pill in a month.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, I haven't needed one steroid in a month, not one pill. So I've been feeling good. I don't know that anything's working because I haven't done my second test, but I do know that I've been feeling so much better, and we'll say I've got more energy, so that we can we can have our dinner parties and everything else that we're having. And so I'm really enjoying this, and so that's kind of why I wanted to get into the business, because I see the good for what it is. And if it can fix somebody like me, it can fix anybody. So that's,
All right.
that's kind of why I'm in it. So thank you guys thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you, Dahlia, for bringing us Joanne and Miriam and Miss iPhone.
Miss iPhone.
Miss iPhone. And the kids. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you.
Panchito. Hi, Panchito.
Dee, love you. Jose, thank you so much. I know you had a meeting, and thank you for staying with us. And then, of course, we had a couple of, Alanis is our social media director consultant from San Jose. So she was on for a little while. And so I'll be talking to you guys as soon as we can. And thank you so much for trusting me and Idalia and being part of the fund. There's two people that are ready to sign up now that are not in this meeting, Nolan. So you and I will discuss that. Yeah, they said they couldn't make it. Somebody lost their stepfather last night.
Oh, wow.
So she couldn't. Yeah. And she's from Canada, so she's excited about representing us in Canada.
Oh, that's
And
perfect.
of course, we've got somebody in Mexico. So you told me that this is already available in Mexico.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. And so, so thank you. So we're building a good army of people that are going to change our part of the world. Nothing else.
Well, you guys, I don't know if you guys got duct tape. If you don't, go to Amazon, look up the strongest gorilla duct tape so you can tape your socks to your legs, because we finna knock your socks off. I'm Nolan Davis. Until next time, love to live to love, and be well. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you,
We'll talk
everyone.
Bye,
soon.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Norma.
Thank you so much. Is Norma our iPhone?
Yes.
Hey, Norma.
Hey, Norma.
Thank you, Miriam.
Hi, Panchito.
Panchito.
I can't hear you.
They're on mute.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. God bless.
Welcome,
Henry,
Tony.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
fabulous.
Bye. Hi, Henry. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dee.
Bye.
We'll see you on the cruise, Dee.
As they say, pasta lasagna, don't get none on you.
Uh-oh.
Bye.